afterwards. So if anybody doesn't have a chance to check it out later.
Perfect.
It's been pretty handy lately. It's a good place for all to live. So without further ado, we've got Rob Lindholm from Fields Manufacturing. He's going to talk to us about the Fields companies and what they've got going on.
Yes, thank you. Thanks, Melissa, for organizing. As always, huge help, and I appreciate it. Thank you, Melissa. Well, I know how we are with video conferencing, and I promise you this is not going to be long. This is going to be short, sweet, concentrated, because I know we have all been Zoomed and video messaged out in 2020. So very quickly, my name's Rob Lindholm. I am your outside rep at Fields family of companies. So basically, I bring it up. If you ever need anything, quotes or opportunities, sales sheets, marketing, favors, I can go on and on. But I'm just wanted to introduce myself so you have a resource at Fields. And the second part is I just want to say thanks. Thank you for the business. We at Fields truly appreciate it. And again, if you need anything, please let me know. The reason I wanted to do this quick webinar is just to show you some of the things we've been seeing sell very well at Fields lately. You know, 2020 has been a crazy year, and so that has created some different opportunities on how to use promotional products in a different way. And I just wanted to show you how we've seen them being used in a different way, and maybe a couple case histories that you can maybe find beneficial. So I'm not going to talk about, a lot of single items. I'm going to talk about kind of categories that's been doing extremely well for us. I'm going to just get the elephant out of the room. We do carry three things in the PPE market. I know we all hate talking about it, and we have been so done with PPE, us as well. But I know it gets brought up, so I'm just going to let you know what we have, and it might be as a benefit for you. The dreaded word, sanitizer. We have one sanitizer. We kept it simple. We just are selling the most popular bottle. It's the 2-ounce full color label with or without the carabiner. The only reason I bring it to your attention because I know there's sanitizer suppliers out there. This is something we have in Minnesota. They are ready to go. I can get them labeled out in 24 hours. So if you have a client that wants them extremely quickly, I need them now, whatever the case, I'm just letting you know you have a source in Minnesota. It's ready to rock, okay? The next thing we have, of course, is masks. A kid's mask, adult masks, screen printed or dye sublimation. But what I'm going to bring to your attention is on our full color dye sublimated masks, we can personalize these. So we could put every kid's individual names on the mask. And I'm sure you've had conversations with your clients saying, now more than ever, it's important that we have our own stuff, especially kids or people even at the workplace. We can't have masks, mixed up with anybody else's. So if it had an individual name on there, that would solve the big problem. So a lot of people don't know that we can personalize them. You do now. So if you have a need for that, keep us in mind. And then lastly, to go along with masks, we have a thing called an ear saver. So this one is a piece of vinyl that we make. We manufacture this in Michigan. Goes behind your head, and then the straps on the mask clip on this so you don't irritate your ears. And the other option we have is this is basically a piece of elastic with a button on each end, full color imprint, same story, goes on the back of your head. And we have often polybagged these and kitted these together with the masks that we currently have. So that's it. Just quick 3 things of PPE. We're not a PPE supplier, but we do carry a couple items, to help, solve the sales needs when it does come up. Okay, now we are going to talk about some couple categories. And I've said it once before, and I'll say it every time I'm at a meeting. If you ever think of Fields Manufacturing, the first thing I want you to think of is that we sell lanyards. We are a lanyard supplier. We make them. We're a manufacturer of lanyards. And what that means for you is since we make lanyards, I can get lanyards out as quickly as 4 hours. So you call me in the morning, they are printed that afternoon and they are out the door that same night. So we've all had instances where client needs something crazy quick. In the lanyard world, we can help you out. We have a direct program. So if you are not getting lanyards from Fields, you're probably getting them direct or overseas. Fields has that option as well. So we have all the attachments, all the sizes, all the shapes, all the materials. We're kind of the expert in it. So all I'm saying is if you want another quote and if you want possibly to see if we can get them to you quicker, we can do that. Our big seller is by far what signs my paycheck, and I'm sure you have sold it. This is a dye sublimated lanyard. It's been in the industry. It's been at trade shows. You guys know what it looks like. I'm only letting you know about this is we can do this in 24 hours in Minnesota. We have a department that dedicates their life to this one item. But 2 selling points on this is that this also comes in an antimicrobial, which is a big buzzword now. People want an antimicrobial something in the lanyard world. We have it with our most popular item. And the second thing on this guy, same story. We can personalize this lanyard. And the reason that's important is, again, schooling often has to have their own lanyards when they're in school or they're color coded. But if it had their name on it, then we know whose it is. And the same scenario is when trade shows start opening up and they say, hey, I need lanyards for this trade show. You say, yeah, I got that. Would you like everybody's individual names on there? And they're like, oh, man, that is a good idea. Because now if it has somebody's name on it, it's now a souvenir and not a piece of garbage at the end of the said trade show. And by you suggesting that really adds value to your salesmanship skills. So just kind of keep that in mind. In the lanyard world, we've got it down. So 2020, crazy year. Fields has got lanyards. We're not moving as many lanyards as we're used to because of trade shows. So took the same lanyard, but we don't call it a lanyard anymore. Now we call it a mask retainer. And it comes with a bulldog or the J-hook clips. You put it down here. We've got them in adult sizes, and we also do it in kids sizes too. So, of course, you can always fill in the application and where this would come in handy. It's like a mask retainer. So it's the same item we've always had. We can personalize those too. We just call them something else. It's now a mask retainer, and we've been doing actually quite well with those type of applications. Okay. So very quickly, same deal. We've always carried badge reels, you know, pretty simple. But now, guess what? In 2020, the same item with the bulldog clip, it's called a professional mask retainer. It's for the professionals that have maybe a collared shirt and they don't want to wear the mask retainer lanyard around their neck. They want something subtle and discreet. Put that on there. You know, you clip your mask onto the little vinyl piece in the bottom. And we've been seeing a few of these badge reels. Same item we've had for years, but now there's a new use for it. And we've been seeing some action in this. All right, all right. Classic. This is just a classic promotional item. This is a button, right? A button is one of the oldest promotional items in our industry ever. We've sold a lot of buttons. They are Michigan made, USA made. Buttons are a big seller in election years. Anytime there's a political year, especially the presidential election, we move a lot of buttons because people want an inexpensive, full color, made in the USA item. That's this guy. So keep that in mind. But side item, same button, but now we put a face on there. And whose face do we put on it? The person wearing the mask. So this is you, or this is me, I should say. I'm wearing a mask. And you can't see my smile. I'm a smiling guy. I'm a happy guy, but you can't see it because of the mask. But me wearing this button with my face on it, now you are able to see it. And the applications we've been seeing with this is, of course, schools again. You know, as schools are starting to reopen, kids are anxious on that first day. They're used to their teacher smiling at them with a big warm hug. They can't do that anymore. If they at least had a button that'll alleviate some nerves. Same story with a hospital, going to the doctor or the nurse. Or even in our job where we're doing sales calls and we're used to selling with our smile and our pearly whites. But if you're at a building that requires you wearing a mask, you can't show that beautiful smile of yours. So we have seen salespeople use them as buttons as well. So we call that the face behind the mask. It's been extremely popular. Of all the items I'm going to show you, we've been getting a lot of buzz on that one.
So Rob, does
Yeah.
that mean you can do variable data then with those buttons? You can do individual printed buttons with each face?
I can do everybody's individual face. We ask 2 faces per button. And because, you know, you have a button in your desk and then you have a button in your car or button in your purse, we're asking for at least 2 faces per button. And that would come in on a Excel spreadsheet. And then we can do it in a Hightail, a big, large file to get the order in. And then the other follow-up question that I usually get with this is, how do I get everybody's faces? So your customer's HR department usually has headshots of everybody. And if they don't have that, say it's a manufacturing place or something of the sort, we've recommended setting up an email address, you know, selfie at AIA or whatever, or Hotmail, whatever you want to do. Have your company, have each individual do a selfie and then email it into that centralized email location. And if you need help with that, I would be happy to do a one-off after this to explain the more details on how to do it.
Rob, what are the minimums for those buttons?
Looking at 250 is the catalog minimum. You can go as low as 125. And
70.
Yep, that's right. And what was I going to say?
Other question we have is there an LTM cost for going to 125?
So if you order through the trick is, this is just an insider trick. We have buttons on Fields and on American Greenwood. Order on the American Greenwood website. It's the same exact button, but our minimums are lower in that catalog. So it's 125 pieces catalog minimum, and there'd be no fee.
Awesome.
Okay. Yeah, and then each face is going to be poly bagged together. So if you got, you know, the face of this guy, we put that in a poly bag all on its own, and then so forth and so forth. We're good? Okay, I'm moving on. Keep the questions coming. All right, another item that we've been selling a lot of, wristbands. We've always carried wristbands. This is the standard Tyvek wristband. And I'm sure we've all seen them. They're great for concerts. They're great for water parks, but there hasn't been concerts. There hasn't been water parks. So how we've been selling this lately is, I guess to kind of put it bluntly, people and things need to be identified as a group. So for an example, we've sold these for homerooms. You know, the 3rd grade student of this elementary, this homeroom is the yellow group. And this homeroom over here for the 4th graders, that's the green group, and that's the blue group. We've also seen it done in manufacturing settings, the welders, the fasteners. And the reason being is, as you know, we gotta have that social distancing, and we can't really have water cooler talk anymore. We can't be intermixing with these groups of people because that's how the disease would spread. So how do we know what group stays together? We've been finding a lot of people have been using Tyvek for that type of an application because it's extremely durable, it's very inexpensive, and it's pretty hygienic because since they're so disposable, you clip it and then you put a new wristband on the next day. So we've been seeing it for this, and we've also seen it for equipment. We've seen it go out for hospitals on a way to tag equipment either by days of the week, clean or dirty, 1st, 2nd, or 3rd floor, just because it can wrap around almost any piece of equipment. And again, it's a hygienic way to do that because they can just go in the garbage when you are done. They've been going out by the tens of thousands. And of course, you can get these done in 24 hours. So really get done quickly as well. Next on wristbands, and maybe you've already seen this case history on social media. So we carry silicone wristbands, and we have for a long time, and you can get a silicone wristband in any PMS color with us. But the story is, with this, I'm holding up these 3 colors for a reason. It's the stoplight, because when you go to a social mixer or a cocktail party, people don't know how to act socially. And what I mean by that is the first impression. When you go there, you're like, do I shake your hand? Do I not shake your hand? Do I just wave across the room? Am I being rude by not offering? You know, people don't know what everybody's comfort level is with, you know, this pandemic. So these have been going in a basket as you come in. So green bin with a little sign saying, I'm comfortable with a handshake. And yellow is, I'm comfortable being here, but let's maintain a 6-foot rule. And red is, I'm at high risk, or someone at home's a high risk. So please maintain as much distance as possible. And by having that visible indicator, people know what your comfort level is, and then people don't get that that first impression of rudeness by not offering a handshake. So we've been selling a lot of silicone in those particular color schemes. Okay, winding down here, winding down. Here we go. Okay, so we have another line called Better Lifeline, and that's like shower hang tags, sliders, calendars, trifolds. But we've been selling a lot of coloring books, say for kids, adult coloring books, crossword puzzles, Sudokus. And you can probably imagine why they've been selling so much, because everybody is cooped inside. We are all working from home. The senior citizens are in an assisted living or nursing home, and they're used to getting visitors. They're used to getting people coming in there to fill their day, but they're no longer coming. So how do we do a promotional item to show that we're thinking about them? And what is a very good practical item that will help fill their day? So we've been doing a lot of kitting with either colored pencils and coloring books, or pens with Sudokus, or whatever the case may be. But that, for the senior market, we've been moving a lot of those type of items. So just keep it in mind, we have an awareness line. Everything's USA made. And again, that's USA made as well. And then lastly, yes, lastly, we have, and I know you're probably aware of this, but we have a seeded line. So this is just a wooden cube planter, comes with the soil, comes with the seeds, full color belly wrap, little planters like this. We have a great seeded line. And of course, that's always done well for us in the spring. But this has been doing well for us all year. And plants have been doing well because of employees now are coming back to work. Well, except for Melissa, where she went to work and now she's back home again. But what I'm saying is, as people are coming back to work, there's usually a welcome back gift. And they've been using a lot of plants for that, just because plants and seeded items are different. You always get the call, show me something different and unique in the promotional world. And you're like, I have shown you everything, Mr. Customer. My suggestion is, even though they don't ask for it, pitch a seeded item, because eco-friendly, USA made, well under $3, full color imprint. It hits all the sweet spots that your customer is looking for. And the best part, it creates a memorable experience. They have to water that plant each and every day. When they are doing that, they're looking at your client's logo. It's kind of a home run, because that's what promotional products are supposed to do, is remember the client's logo and brand awareness. Our biggest seller in this line is this really simple item. This is a seeded paper shape. So you find the shape that's geared towards your client. You find the color that's geared towards their branding. Tells you how to plant it. The back is the marketing piece in full color. It's thin. It's popular because mailers have made a comeback. I'm sure you've done a few mailing campaigns. You do a mailing campaign, the biggest thing is, you know, how do I get my customer to open up the mail? It's not, I don't want it to be junk mail. I want it to be opened. You do a seeded paper. This is something unique and different that they haven't seen before. They will at least open it. They will at least look at it. I don't know if they'll plant it or not, but the goal is for them is to look at your marketing message. And this is well under $1. And we've been moving this like crazy. It is our most popular item in this line. For whatever it's worth, out of all the items that Fields carries, which is darn near 3,000, the biggest dollar items come out of our seeded line. They go into programs, they go into recurring business, they go into company stores, and we've been seeing a ton of big dollar items with the seeded lines. I'm not saying that's what we sell the most of, but that's where we're seeing the biggest dollar factor in. That is what we've been moving right now. So those quick items, those quick case histories, I wanted to share them with you because maybe you could find a benefit with them as well. On the service side of it, pretty much like a lot of other suppliers, we do the same thing. If you have an opportunity, if you have a website, if you just wanted to do a sales sheet and just blast it out to a certain market, we do all those services free of charge for you. I'd like a backstory on who you're selling it to, but if you're like, you know, I don't know that much about this manufacturer, here's their website, and they've ordered tote bags from me. That's the information that we would need. We would look at their website, their social media, their branding, and we would come up with a marketing campaign and give it. We're usually done within 24 hours, and then you can blast it out to your company or use it however you want. But a lot of people maybe forget that we offer that service, and my marketing team is on standby, and they could use some work right now. I mean, we really want to get these guys working. We want them to get some sell sheets out. So if you had any websites or anything at all, just send them my way. We'd be happy to work with it. And under 20 minutes, boom, I'm done.
Nice work.
So, I mean, if you do have any questions or anything at all, seriously, that's what I am here for. My job is to help you guys make more money. So please let me know what I can do for you.
Rose Wallen says, thanks, Rob.
You're welcome, Rose. I usually see Rose. She usually comes up a trip to Minnesota, but I haven't seen her this year because everything's been closed down.
Yep. Does anybody have any last minute questions? You can either type them in the chat or take yourself off mute and say hi. Guess not. You did a good enough job explaining.
Well, good. I appreciate everybody's time. I know what these Zoom meetings are like, and I truly appreciate you taking time to come on this thing.
Awesome. Thanks, Rob.
Thank you, Rob.
You're welcome. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Bye.
Bye.